Shalom, shalom. Everybody in the classroom, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, everybody online. We back at it again. It's a beautiful Sabbath, a Shabbat, to Allah Yasha'Allah, to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach wa Malak Yahushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades before us, patiently waiting. The second coming of Yahushai, still laboring and doing the work. A hearty shalom to you mighty men that's out there laboring on the highways and byways, putting your lives on the line to magnify the ministry and push the truth. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit, praying, fasting, studying, getting their households in order, being diligent. Shalom to the Aqua, hold it down in the households, reverence to the husbands, being submissive, diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. All right, it's a beautiful Sabbath. I'm going to pass it to mighty brother Amos.
Shabbat Shalom. All praise to the Most High. We're here to see another Sabbath, another day to repent that the Lord allow us to see. Right. So we're gonna start off with Acts chapter 18 and verse 4. Right. Lord willing, everybody had a beautiful destruction of Nicanor and Purim. Those who celebrated it, remember what the feast day was for: the destruction of our enemies. As we're approaching the destruction of our enemies, we Yahweh Shem Yahushua bringing down Babylon before our eyes and bringing back up Israel to their first estate. That's right.
So this is the book of Acts, chapter 18 and verse 4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
God. So again, another Sabbath, we can persuade Israel, who knows that they're Israel, to keep these commandments, keep the faith, the brotherly love, the charity, and those just coming back to the fold, right? Find out what it truly means to be an Israelite. How our forefathers moved, how our foremothers moved, and neglect the ways of this world. How do we do that? Philippians 4:13.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 13. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me.
Right. Through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're able to cast down these false doctrines, stand bold for the word of the Lord, and get these understandings of the dark parables and dark sayings. Right. So we're back in James, the second chapter. Right, James chapter 2, we're going to start back off at verse 1. Right, and it reads, my brethren, have not the faith of our Lord, Yahweh Mashiach, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. For if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring.
Real quick. For brothers that don't know, we kind of covered it. You brothers know what respect of persons is? That's being showing favoritism, being impartial in your judgment, right? Regardless of the matter, everything has to be judged in righteousness and in equity. So the Lord is saying, do not have this faith. Don't mix your faith with respect of persons. Right? That's off.
For if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring in goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that wear the gay clothing, and saying to him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand out there, or sit here under my footstool. And are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts?
Yeah, that's off, man. You got a brother, let's say a brother come in with a fancy garment. Hey, brother, sit up here right here, man. Squeeze in here right here between me and Amos. You don't know, no breakdown, no precepts, but he got a fancy garment on. That's wicked, man. Then another brother come in with rags on, man. Hey, brother, go stand over there by the bathroom, man. Right, get in the back. Right, sit down. That's wicked, man. Right, so you can't show respect to persons. If Mathania goes off and Micah goes off, and then Lamad, he goes off, we can't just say, well, Lamad, we know how it is. We know how you get Lamad when you get like that. Right, it's all cool. Right, then we kind of getting on them. That's wicked, man. Everybody, let's go to real quick Proverbs chapter 1 and 1, man. Right, the foundation, that's the sincere milk of the word. That goes back to the commandments, respect the persons. You got a lot of that in Israel, man. You got a lot of brothers who show respect the persons to other brothers, sisters, respect the persons to other sisters. Everything should be judged in justice according to what's written, law and commandments, with discretion and wisdom.
Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgments and equity.
See that? See the characteristics that we're supposed to have as men? Let's read that again. Read that again.
To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity.
See that? You need to have these traits as men. You can't just know all of the in-depth breakdowns, man. You have to have justice, right? You have to be fair, right? You have to be upright. You have to be equitable or show equity and be able to make sound judgment and decisions, all right? Without respect of persons according to the law, statutes, and commandments. Brothers understand that? So we as men have to be able to, change our lives to conform to the scriptures, man, right? And not show respect to persons or be favoritism or impartial in our judgment, because the Most High is going to judge you for that.
James chapter 2 and verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not Yahweh chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat?
See that? Rich men oppress you. You know James is a so-called black man. You know this talking about us, man. He said, don't rich men oppress you. You wouldn't have respect the person to this brother and this fancy garment. You don't even understand that, these are the same people that oppress you, man. And that sell they soul. And they're quick to give you into mischief. Right? So James says, it's like it through the spirit, but ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before judgment seats. We experience that every day, man. The so-called white man oppressing you through his legislation, his laws, his police force, police brutality, his murder, right? And draw you before a judgment seat, man. And you got to say, now you got to say, yes, my honor. What they say, yes, honor. You got to say, yes, honor to the devil, man. You got to get up. What he say, get up? We'll all rise before the honorable judge so-and-so, man. Everybody got to get up, right? So this is madness.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 9, right? This goes into the reasoning of the ungodly within themselves, the thoughts of the unrighteous, right? It says, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion and our lot for this. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Right? So the unrighteous, they love to, oppress the poor righteous man. Right? They love to see Israel oppressed. Right? And this is what James is saying. Right? Doesn't the poor man oppress you? Right? But you want to be partial in judgment because of the rich man. Right? Riches profit nothing in the day of wrath. Right? And like the brother was saying, it's a lot of that going on in Israel. Right? If Naquam slip up, he got to get the same judgment that a brother who just came into the truth get. Right? But it has to be done decently and in order. Right? Everything has to be weighed out on the balance. Right? You don't every situation is not the same. Right? Didn't Jehoshaphat forgive the woman who had 7 husbands?
Yeah, and we could go into, so you got to know how to make judgment too. Right? You got to know how to make judgment. All right, so let's go back to that. And the so-called white man that draws you before judgment seats, he's not right. He's not doing that in righteousness, man. Or you have something else? Let's go back to that. And
James chapter 2 and verse 7. Do not thy blaspheme the word, thy slugging. Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by that which ye are called?
Yeah, they blaspheme. They say that they call us niggas, man. Black people, we the Israelites, man. Do not they blaspheme that name, right? Say that they're the chosen people, that they're the real Jews, right? That Jehoshaphat is a so-called white man. The Most High is a so-called white man. You want to sit there and be respected person to the people blaspheming your name, right? Not judging your people in righteousness. Go on. And then the thing about it, real quick, let's go to 1 Corinthians 6. We got to be able to judge matters ourselves, man. You got Jake, you quick to call the police to judge out a matter. You got 2 brothers in the truth, and one, I'm calling the police. We're going to let Esau decide what's going on. That's wicked, man. If me and Lamar get into it, I'm not calling the police, man. Well, let's see what Esau got to say about this thing. You got brothers like that, man. Well, Esau, he is smart. He do got the Supreme Court. He's going to be able to make the right decision. We got to get to the point where we can be able to form our own judgments as a nation of men, and do things in righteousness. 6:1.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1. Dare any of you having a matter against another go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints?
Yeah, so if I got a matter, I'm not suing Amos for 20 grand, We're going to work it out. We're going to go to the law. Right? We're going to go before the congregation, I'm not going to go to Lamar crib and slip and then ask, well, look, hey, you got insurance. Right? And then finesse it, Any matter, any situation, we as men of the Most High and as a nation of men and kings and priests, we should be able to read the Torah, go to the law, and understand how to execute judgment according to what's written. Brothers, understand that? Stop going to Esau all the time, I'm calling the police. You see what happened when Jake and Eve get into it? Then Esau come in there and blow your damn husband's brains out, Now you regret calling the police. Right? So this is madness. Right? So the Lord said, our people are quick to go before the unjust, before the just, Well, let's finish that real quick.
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
We can judge the smallest matter. Right? If you step on a brother's shoe, we're going to execute judgment on that. We can do that. Because we're going to judge the world, We're going to actually judge nations. We're going to tell nations what to do according to the law. We're going to tell the Edomites, hey, look, you got to keep the Sabbath day. If the Moabites not wearing their fringes on, we're going to have the law in our inward parts. We're going to execute judgment, If they don't come up with a Feast of Tabernacles, we're going to execute judgment. We're going to judge the earth and put things back in order, So what makes you think we can't judge the smallest matters? All right, we're the saints, So we, again, I'm going to reiterate it for the third time. We as a nation of kings and priests, we have, like the brothers even said, child support. Eve quick to put Jake on child support, Just work it. You don't have to go to Esau for everything, Go to your brothers. And that's why the Most High set up these different congregations with different positions of leadership, elder men, so matters can be judged in righteousness according to the law. All right? And everybody's not a judge. Right? You had a point, Elder?
Remember the incident when Jake got shot 7 times in the back? It was a domestic dispute with his girlfriend last year.
Jacob.
He got shot. His name was Jacob.
Jacob
Wow.
Brown or something like that.
Was that
Jacob Blake? Jacob Blake.
That was in Wisconsin, right? Yeah, see that? See that? He got shot in his back, Right? So we got to come out of this. We're a nation, right? We're a kingdom within ourselves, So we're going to have judges, right? We're going to have servants, prophets, leaders, teachers. The Most High is building up the nation, So there can be any matter. Let's say you getting into it with your rib or whatever, and you need counsel. Don't go to Esau. We're going to the so-called white man's marriage counsel. We're going to pay $300 a session, and they're going to tell us what to do. We're going to Dr. Phil. I want to talk to Dr. Phil. You got people that get into it. Let's go to Jerry Springer. He's going to work it out. Jerry Springer's not going to work it out for you, Maybe Steve Wilkos will. Steve Wilkos, he can't get it done, because they're not going to execute according to the laws and commandments. Any disputed altercation, it should be able to be handled by the men of leadership or elders or wise men of your nation to be able to call a judgment out in righteousness.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 32, and I'm going to start at verse 15. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrites will be offended thereat. Right? So if you're seeking the law, you're going to find out how to deal with certain matters according to thus saith the Lord. Right? Because the scriptures cover every incident under the sun. Right? There's nothing uncovered under the sun that's not in the Bible. Right? Verse 16. They that fear the Lord shall find judgment and shall kindle justice as a light. So if you fear the Lord, you're going to understand what judgment and justice is. Right? You're going to understand how to deal with certain situations. You're going to understand that everything doesn't require every outcome, the same outcome. Right? There's certain situations where if they offend according this way, you got to deal with it that way. If they offend according that way, you got to deal with it this way. Verse 17, a sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. right? So you got to examine yourself. Do you find an excuse so you can continue in your sinful ways, or do you take reproof and love the chastising of your brother? Because the brother wouldn't chastise you unless he loves you, right? Verse 18, a man of counsel will be considerate. And that's key. A man of counsel will be considerate, right? You got to consider every matter that's going on in the situation, right? It's not just one way. You got to weigh out the options. You got to weigh out the everything that's going on. A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even when him himself he have done without counsel, right? So if you that proud and strange man, you're not going to be considerate of counsel, right? If I know Naquam is the person I go to in counsel and I want to do something without it, and then I have no fear of the repercussions, I'm that proud man. The next verse, 19, is the key point. Do nothing without advice, and when thou hast once done, repent not. So whatever's going on, do it without advice. Do it with advice. Slocky. Whatever's going on, make sure you get advice first, right? Because what you may be missing, the next person may see. And the next person can cover and admonish you about it that may happen. That's why it's important to have counsel. That's why it's important to be able to confide in your brother.
I want to get this in 1 Kings chapter 3 and 16. Right? 1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 16. It reads, there came two women, then came there two women that were harlots unto the king and stood before him, that is Solomon. And the one woman said, O my Lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the third day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also. And we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we two in the house. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it. And she arose at midnight and took my son from beside me while thine handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. So brother, see what's going on? She overlaid her child and switched the children. So the one will wake up and think that she overlaid her child and she got the one that's alive, right? And they only between like a week or two apart, right? Verse 21. And when I arose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. When I had considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son which I did bear. And the other woman said, nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, no, but the dead is thy son, and thy living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, the one said, this is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other said, nay, but thy son is the dead, but my son is the living. And the king said, bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, divide the living child in two. It's a quick judgment right here. He didn't have to fast. Hold on, let me sit there and think about this. Who got the paternity test? They didn't have paternity tests back then. Some judgments, you got to be quick and on your feet, man. You got to be able to make quick decisions, right? It says, bring me a sword, and they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, divide the living child in two, and give half to the one and half to the other. Then spake the woman whose the living child was to the king, for her bowels yearned upon him, and she upon her son. And she said, O my Lord, give her the living child, and then no wise slay it. But the other said, let it be neither mine nor thine, but divided. Right? To show who's living, who cared more, who loved the child, right? And you could tell that one woman loved the child because she knew that was her son, and the other one said, no, look, it is what it is. Cut it in half. Right? Verse 27. Then the king answered and said, give her the living child, and then no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. Here's the point. And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to do judgment. You see that? That wasn't him making judgment. That was the wisdom of the Most High to execute judgment. Right? So Solomon, nobody had more wisdom than him, man. Right? The apostles made judgments, man. They said in Acts 6, it is not good for us to wait on tables. Let us get 7 men, right? Wise men to do this judgment, man, to take the burden off of us. So life is about making judgments according to not your opinion, according to what's righteous, law, statutes, and commandments, through spiritual discernment. right? And that's what we're reading about in James, and how these people of the world, they don't execute judgment, right? They got all types of loopholes in the law. They got amendments and all types of wickedness, man. And these laws in this society, the foundation of it was they didn't write these laws thinking about you. Oh, what about this? What if the so-called black? They weren't thinking about you, man. These are their laws. That's for them. That's for their benefit and them to prosper, right? These are your laws and for you to prosper.
Because you got a book called Judges, right? And you had a sister in there. She was a prophetess named Deborah, right? She brought Barak and had them set up men. That's Judges, the 4th chapter. You might as well get it, right? So our nation was full of judges who did righteous judgment, right? Sometimes matter got to be dealt with at a certain instant. Sometimes you can sit back, you can weigh the matter and see how it should be played out, right? That comes with judgment in itself, right? So this is Judges, the 4th chapter, and I'm going to start at the 4th verse. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lebiadah, she judged Israel at the same time. And she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramoth and Bethel in the Mount Ephraim, right? So this is Israel going off, man. Israel going off and they getting afflicted and tortured by the enemies, right? And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinamiah, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, have not the Lord God of Israel commanded us, saying, go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and the children of Zebulun, and I will draw unto thee to the river of Kishon Sisera, the captain of Jabon's army and his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him into thine hand. Right? So that was judgment on a matter. Right? The sister said, you know what? The Lord said, let's get these 20,000 men of these 2 tribes, and we're going to slay our enemies before the Lord. Right? That's judgment on a matter in an instant, man. Right? So judgment comes with wisdom. Right? The more you read and get understanding, the more wisdom is going to come. You can judge a matter according to thus.
That's right. Let me get this precept in 2 Chronicles chapter 19 and 4. Right? 2 Chronicles chapter 19 and 4. Right? That comes with experience, man. Even Laban told Jacob, I have learned by experience that the Lord has blessed me, man, because of you. Right? So let me get this in 2 Chronicles chapter 19 and 4. And Jehoshaphat dwelt at Jerusalem, and he went out again through the people from Beersheba to Mount Ephraim, and brought them back unto the Lord God of their fathers. And he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Judah, city by city, and said to the judges, this is what the king said, take heed what ye do, for ye judge not for man, but for the Lord, who is with you in the judgment. See that? He told these judges, look, this is from the Lord, man, who is with you in the judgment. And he set all these different judges throughout the cities. So Israel, when they had a matter, they can go before the judges. And the judges were set up in pursuant to Deuteronomy 25 to justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. Verse 7. Wherefore now, let the fear of Yahweh be upon you. Take heed and do it, for there is no iniquity with the Lord our God, nor respect of persons, nor taking of gifts. It can't be the brother taking gifts, man. Lamar kind of paid me, $75,000, man, because he got it like that, right? For me to turn a blind eye to his sin. He had just murdered a man and committed adultery, but he gave me 30,000, man. And I'm like, what murder? I ain't see nothing. I didn't hear it. And we kind of let Lamar go free, man. Esau get it. They be doing stuff like that in his system, man. They show you that in the damn movies, man. The judge being a damn judge office with the lawyers. Right. Well, how you want to do this? Right? What you want to do? You want to settle? You want to do? And they be having they be perverting the judgment, man.
On the golf course?
Yeah, on the golf course, man. You got a point, brother.
Back in the world, you have recreational basketball. The coach want to slide the ref.
Yeah, they slide the ref $200, man. Getting all these charges, man. Charge calls.
It was a Edomite. It was an Edomite referee in the NBA who got caught up on that. I can't remember the man's name. They put him in prison off of that, man. Right?
That's right. They're taking gifts, man. Right? taking gift spirit. It reads, let me read that again. 2 Chronicles 19:7. Wherefore now let the fear of the Lord be upon you. Take heed and do it, for there is no iniquity with the Lord our God, nor respect of persons, nor taking of gifts. You can't pay the Lord off, right? You said the Lord don't have a cash app. You done committed murder, and you trying to cash app the Lord. You're looking for his cash app. You fasting to get the Lord's cash app. The Lord don't have a cash app, man. He don't want your gifts, man. What you want to get the Lord? And the Lord gonna be like, all right, hey, the water. The Lord not dealing with that, man. The Lord don't need your gift. Right? In verse 8, moreover, in Jerusalem did Jehoshaphat set up the Levites and of the priests and of the chief of the fathers of Israel for the judgment of the Lord and for the controversies when they returned to Jerusalem. And he charged them, saying, thus shall ye do in the fear of Yahweh faithfully and with a perfect heart. Right? You see that? So when you're making decisions in judgment, we telling you now, don't taking gifts, no respect of persons. The Lord is with you in the judgment, and your judgment should be based off of what? The law, the scriptures, law, statutes, and commandments. And it's an order on how to do it. Not like how James is getting on the rich men, right, that oppress you. So bitterness is manifold. There's many different things that we have to learn as men in the truth, from the milk to the meat, to knowing how to execute judgment, know how to apply the laws and commandments. Because you may have a household and you're going to have to know how to judge the matter, right? According to law. Let's say you and your woman get into it, or your children are having a dispute. You can't just say, well, boys will be boys, right? And they didn't just beat up your daughter, man, and got into it. You got to be able to pull up the law, statutes, and commandments, man. So it's important to pray for spiritual discernment too. Discernment helps you execute judgment, man. You know?
This is the book of Job, chapter 34 and verse 11. Right, Job 34 and 11. It says, for the work of a man shall he render unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways. Yea, surely Yahweh will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. Right? So we got to use the same judgment how you feel the Lord would use. Right? And that's a hard thing to say. It's kind of difficult to do that, but it says, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Right? So you got to judge the matter perfectly. And every situation is a stepping stone and an example how to deal with the next situation. Right? You shouldn't be committing the same transgressions and partiality or whatever you're going through in the next situation. You got to take these life lessons and learn from it for the next time. Right?
That's right. We can go back to James. So that's why it says in James chapter 2 at 7, do not they blaspheme that worthy name by which ye are called? Huh? And that's all by committing sin.
James chapter 2 and verse 8. If ye fulfill the world law according to the scriptures, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin, and convinced of law as transgressors.
You see that? So the royal law is what? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Right? And that's how you execute judgment, man, because you will want a justice or an equitable decision to be made on your life. So you should want that same spirit to be applied to a brother when you execute a judgment. Huh? Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, but if you have respect to persons, they commit sin. Because in the law, let's get that again in Deuteronomy 1 and 15, right? Deuteronomy chapter 1 and 15. So James is telling, hey, the law still applies. Don't let these Christians tell you you don't have to keep the law. It's still being enforced right here in the book of James, man, from the Old Testament.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 15. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men, and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over fifties, and captains over tens, and officers among your tribes. And I charge your judges at the same time, saying, hear the cause between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him. Ye shall have no respect. So like ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but you shall hear the small as well as the great. You shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is Yahweh's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it.
See that? You got to hear the cause of the small and the great, man, when you're making the judgment. I can't just hear Lamad's side of the story, man. Well, Lamad said this, or hear what these brothers said, man. I can't just listen to that. I have to hear what you said. Let's say you and him get into it. I got to hear your whole side of the story. I may pull you to the side. Hey, what happened? What happened? I heard so and so happened, brother. Right? Did this happen? Right? Then you have to have witnesses too in your judgment. I may have to have 2 or 3 witnesses and say, look, these are the witnesses that said so and so and so and so. Right? Then I got to talk to Lamad, and I got to get down to the bottom of the matter. Then we got to make a decision. We got to justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. You both can't be right. Right? You got to be able to make a decision, huh? Hear the matter of the small and the great.
God, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 11, and verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Right? That's very important. Right? Blame not before you examine the whole matter. Right? When you judge situations, you got to turn into an investigator, a private eye, man. You got to get to the bottom of the situation before you rebuke. Sirach 11 and 7. Right? Verse 8, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Right? So before you answer, you better make sure you understand this point of view, that point of view, the variations. You got to understand everything when you're being a judge. Right? Being a judge is a very high step. That's a very high office to have in Israel. Right? So when you in the midst of judgment, make sure that you examine all causes. That's what a righteous judge would do.
So we can go back to James. Right? So you don't want to be a transgressor, right? You want to make sure we're applying everything that's written. Not just reading it, but applying these things.
James chapter 2 and verse 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
Yeah, because you can keep the whole law and be impartial in your judgment. Now you're guilty of all. So that's the context we're keeping it in. Right? You can be a murderer, right? Or let's say you're keeping all the commandments, but now you lusting after another man's wife. You're going off, man. Tomorrow you so righteous, but every time Micah's wife come around, my eyes are locked in. Micah, where your rib at? Right? That's wicked, man. Right? Every time we have to feast, I'm looking for Micah's rib. Micah, when your rib ain't come, right? Shalom, where your rib at? Right? I'm saluting the brother, looking around. That's wicked, man. But there's brothers like that, man. And then they'll say they're so righteous, man. So you got something?
For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. Now, if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law. So speak ye, and so do as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty.
Yeah, no, the law of liberty is grace. All right. Showing forgiveness. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. All right, go on.
For he shall have judgment without mercy that has shown no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment.
So that's another point of executing judgment. You have to show mercy, man. Right? If what's an example? If Micah steal $5 from Lamad, what does he have to do according to the law? Do brothers know? Right, but he has to restore a particular amount fold, 4-fold, 5-fold, whatever the case may be. Right? Now let's say he do that, and then we have to make a decision. We can't tie Micah up and bound him with fetters, man, and put a heavy yoke on his neck and make him wear that can't. That's judgment without mercy, man. You beat the brother up, throw him in the trunk, take him for a wild ride, right? Doing all these crazy turns, man. Sleeping with the fishes. That's judgment without mercy.
Cement shoes.
Yeah, cement shoes. Right? So, you know, like they show you in the movie, what's that movie? Was that Malcolm X? They was kind of throwing them off the bridge. I mean, out the window.
No, that was
the 5 heartbeats. 5 heartbeats, man.
Red.
Yeah, Red went to take him and throw him off the building, man. And it was a small matter. I think he wanted to talk to the guy.
He wanted the rights to the CD.
Oh, okay. See that he wanted the rights to the CD, man. And that was judgment without mercy. So even when you execute a judgment, you want to be merciful. If your son sneak and take a cookie, don't punch him in the mouth. That's off, man. You just steal him in the mouth, right? And he just sitting there, you walk away. You didn't even tell him what happened. You just steal him and go play Xbox. That's evil. So you have to know how to show mercy, because if you don't show mercy and get judgment, when the Most High judge you, guess what? You're not going to get no mercy. That mercy is going to rejoice against that judgment, right? And alleviate the pain, you know?
Verse 14. What doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him?
Yeah.
Can faith save him? Can faith just save him? Or does he have to have works with his faith? God. Verse 15. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, but be warmed and filled, notwithstanding you give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doeth it profit? Right? That's being a hypocrite. Right? Because the law tells you got to take care of the widow and the poor. Right? So if you're telling somebody, yeah, go ahead, I'm going to eat this food, and you just be filled. You be filled with the Spirit. Right? That's wicked, man. Right? You got to, like this verse above said, you got to have mercy to be showed mercy. If I know I have a foot-long sandwich and Micah ain't ate in 2 days, well, then he going to get half that sandwich, if not the whole thing. That's showing your faith, right? By your works. Because your works, you know that the Most High is recording this. And you're going to get double that what you cast into the waters, right?
Let me get a quick precept in 2 Ezra 9 and 7. You got all these people talking about, I believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus Christ, right? I'm saved by his blood. And guess what you're doing? All types of iniquity, man. You watching pornography late at night, right? You're hitting up this brother wife. You could have got her number, right? You robbing your brother. You got brothers in the truth asking brothers for $20, man, so they could buy weed, and then making videos with them with thousands of dollars, man. You got brothers pretending that they going through stuff in the truth. Look, brother, I'm really going through it, brother. Look, I just need $400, brother. You got it. Then you get a brother $400, you never see him again, man. Right? So let me get this real quick. This you have to show faith by your works, man. Right? You can't just say that you believe. 2 Ezra 9 and 7. 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. And the Most High is going to judge you according to your works. That's the only way to escape the destruction coming to the earth. And the greater your faith is, the greater your works are going to be. Right?
Oh, you got it. God, this is the book of Romans, the 3rd chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 20. Romans chapter 3 and verse 20. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin. Right? We went over Romans. This was months ago, wasn't it? That was a long time ago. So nobody's going to be justified just by the law. Right? And it's going to explain why. But now the righteousness of Yahweh without the law is manifest, being witnessed by the law and the prophets. Even the righteousness of Yahweh, which is by faith of Yahweh Shah, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Right? So everybody's still in sin. Everybody slips up every day. Right? So you can't be just justified by the law. Right? That'd be impossible. If that was the case, no flesh should be saved at all. But we're justified by the grace. We're justified by the faith. Right? Repentance. Right? We have a continuing sacrifice, which is Yahweh Shah, who's given us that daily atonement so we can do better, to kill off that old man. Right? To have more faith by our works. Right? You don't wear these fringes for no reason. You don't wear this beard for no reason. You wear this because you have faith. Right? And the Lord gave you the grace to repent of those actions that you were committing in sin, to come back to fulfill the law. Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's a beautiful point, man. And this is all because we want the kingdom, man. We believe the kingdom is coming, man. We believe Yahweh Shah is going to return in the chariots. That's why we don't eat pork, man. That's why we don't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. Right? This is why we execute judgment. Right? This is why we have our friends. We don't just do it for no reason. We do it because we believe, right? And the reward to come. Right? So you have something.
That's why we have mercy as well. That's why you show mercy, because you expect to get the same mercy, or you hope to get the same mercy when the Lord returns.
Right. That's right.
Luke 6 and 46.
Yeah, let's bring it up. Luke chapter 6 and 46. Luke chapter 6 and 46.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 6 and verse 46. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?
Yeah, you got people that call Jesus, save me. Jesus, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, sweet baby Jesus. Right? You're not doing nothing the Lord said, man. Right? The Lord said, look, no eating unclean foods. Keep the Sabbath day. If you love me, keep my commandments. That's written. So how you going to say, Lord, Lord, and you ain't doing nothing he said? So you saying, Daddy, help me. You know, you got your son, Dad, help me. Right? Or Dad, can I get this? Can I get this? What you calling my name for, man? Clean your room. Right? Take out the trash, man. Right? That's how I go, man. Do what he say, and then you can get what you want through the spirit and righteousness.
Verse 48. He is like a man which built an house and digged deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon the house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against when the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. That's heavy right there. That's a good precept, okay? That's a good precept, right? All right, back to James chapter 2 and verse 17. Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone. Yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Thou believest that there is one God, thou do as well. The devils also believe and tremble.
Yeah, so I don't care if you say you believe in God. Devils believe in God too. Are you a devil? Or who are you, man? Anybody can say they believe in God. Satan believes in the Most High too. Michael believes in the Most High. All of the demons believe in the Most High. Right? So it's not enough to say that you believe, man. That's what James is letting you know, man. Right? You got crackheads that say they believe in God. Oh yeah, I believe in God. I'm gonna get right. Just give me 3 years. God is good. God is good. Right? That's what they say, man. God bless you. You see the Jake on all types of drugs in the middle of the street with the sign, God bless you. He believe in God. Right? So it's not, you can't just be content with that, man. I want to see your works, man. That's what James said. Right? That's a beautiful precept in James 2 and 18. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. So you show your faith by your works, man. A brother should show that you believe, man. You see a brother that want to make it to the football team, guess what he do? He got heavy works, man. He watching game film. He's showing up early to practice. He's staying late because this brother believes he's going to make it, man. He working out all day, working in the morning. Now you got the other brother say, yeah, I believe I'm going to make it to the team. Sitting around eating damn Funyuns all day, man. Right? He's not, you can say that brother really don't believe. You can see it, man, because your action doesn't show it. So your action should show the amount of faith that you have, men and women, man. If you're a woman in this truth and you really believe, you should be literally doing the things that's written that your foremothers did. I mean, literally to a T, man. You should be reading these accounts of your foremothers in Esther, Judith, 1 Peter, 3rd chapter, Ephesians 5, Proverbs 31, and do those things. Yeah, I'm an Israelite sister. I'm a daughter of Zion. Yeah, I believe in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And you're not doing nothing, man. You're sitting around all day, watching TV, gossiping with other sisters, right? You have sisters that play 2K all day, man, too. Right? Just it's a madness, man. Watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? VH1, right? It's all types of bad. So if you're a sister that believe, you can like, hold on, yeah, I got this faith, and we should be able to see it, man. Yeah, that's just to really believe. Look at her mighty works, man. Look what she's doing, right? So that's how it goes in this thing, man. You show your faith by your works. Come. Yeah, you got brothers, they be out there, for hours teaching. That's because we believe through the Spirit, man. In the cold, we're not out in the cold for no reason, because it's fun. It was cold as hell yesterday, man. Freezing rain, windy. The damn wind sliced through your jacket, get down your neck and get your spine. Can't feel your hands, right? Your feet, you're constantly moving your feet up and down because they cold, they stiff. Hey, brothers that was holding posts, they had no umbrella yesterday, man. It was kind of out there. They was dealing with it, man. Right? That's faith. That's showing your faith, man.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 29. A man may be known by his look, and one that have understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. Right? You're going to know that man who's really about the Father's business. You're going to know that man who's really just going through the matters just to be seen, just to say they're an Israelite. Right? A man is going to be known by his look. He's going to have that austere look. You're not going to be laughing and giggling all the time, telling knock-knock jokes, tickling brothers. Right? You're going to have that shit. Yeah, tickling brothers, man.
Yeah, you got brothers that do that.
Yeah, man. You're going to be serious, man. You're going to be serious in the times that you need to be serious. You're going to, like Ecclesiastes 3 says, it's a time and a place for everything, man. Right? A man who is serious about the Father's business knows when it's time to be serious about the Father's business, which is all the time. Right? A man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. Right? You're gonna know a clown when a clown comes up. Right? That one, what was that? Paid in full. Right? Come on, Ice. I don't got no money.
Yeah.
Right? That type of man. Instead of being like, look, I know you on hard times, man. Come up to the house. Come get something to eat, man. I know you on a low. You hitting a low. Right? A man's gonna be known by his looks. A man of understanding is gonna be known by his countenance. Right? So check your countenance, man. Don't be that man who's always angry, hard to approach, always being austere and not austere. What's the word I wanted to use? Always want to buck up against people.
Combative.
Water. Don't be that man who's always combative. Be approachable, right? And be serious, right? Use righteous judgment when dealing with brothers.
That's right. That's right. So show your faith with your works, man. Right? It's important to pray for more faith. Even the apostles prayed to actually, I was shot, Lord, increase our faith. And they saw the miracles, man. They saw all of the miracles and they said, Lord, we still need more faith. So how much more us? We didn't see all of the miracles they saw. So it's important to pray for more faith in the last days, man. Because you're going to see things in the last days that you never saw before. Experience things that you never thought that you would experience. And your simple faith of believing in the Lord. Let me get that in Luke 18 and 7. All right, the Lord said, nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall they find faith on the earth. So your faith your faith in the Lord is going to be your driving force in the last days. All right, let me get that in Luke chapter 18 and verse 7. It reads, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear along with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? You see that? The Lord says he's going to avenge us, but when he comes, it's going to be so much destruction, pain, sorrow, tribulation, that the Lord said, hey, it's going to be a rare thing to find a man of faith on the earth in those days. Is anybody still going to believe in this truth? A lot of brothers say they believe. So you're looking at the guillotine, right? So you got to make that decision. Esau pull you in a room and chop off your finger and say, denounce the Most High. Okay, right? Can I get my finger some ice? Right? Then he give you a damn ice cream cone, man. You didn't denounce the Most High, right? Or he got your son. He looking at your son, right? I'm gonna take your son life. Denounce the Most High. Do you really believe in that moment, right? When you're in a FEMA camp and you haven't eaten in 3 days, right? And they torturing people and all hell breaking loose and you starving and you thirsty. And Esau say, well, look, just denounce the Most High and just eat this pork I got. Do you really believe in that thing? It's an easy thing to say that you believe in the Lord now. It's an easy thing. Yeah, I believe in the Most High. But when it hit the fan, will you believe? That's what Yahweh Shah said. When a Son of Man cometh, is he going to find men that still believe? in him in those days. You know?
James chapter 2 and verse 19. Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar?
Yeah, we went over that last week, man. That's a heavy work to do, man. Do you really believe? Offer up your son right now. Kill your son. Let me see it. Let me see if you really believe. Abraham said, Khan, how about Shah Khan, I don't want. Right? Come on. And he offered, and then he did it, man. Now he might have been, we don't know his mentality. We don't know the stress level or what he was going through, but he still did it, man. Right? If the Lord told you jump in the ocean right now and you don't know how to swim, would you do it? Do you believe? Let's go to Matthew chapter 14. Right? I can't swim, Lord. And the Lord, he said, jump in this river, man. Right? The Lord said we walk by faith, not by sight. You got to do your thing.
This is Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Right? So through faith, all the elders that we read about in these scriptures, they attained a very good report. Right? I'm going to get that after this brother gets his precept.
Come. Let's go to Matthew chapter 14 and 22. Right? It's important to pray for more faith, that the Lord increase your faith sevenfold, man. Tenfold. Stop just praying for all of the breakdowns all day, man. Right? And praying for a wife. Stop it, brother. You fasting 4 days for a wife. Can she text me back? Why hasn't she reached out yet, man? Right? Because you're not reaching out to the Lord, man. Right? So let's get this in Matthew 14 and 22. And straightway Yahweh constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with the waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Yahweh went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway Yahweh spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. Yahweh said, if that's you, ask me to come on the water, and I'll go come. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahweh. So Peter walked on water. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Yahweh stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? See that? Doubt. Why did you doubt? Doubt is a demon. And doubt can creep into your mind and cause you to be afraid. You got to get rid of that doubt. When doubt begin to creep in, you got to kick that thing out like a bad habit, right? Now, this can be anybody's situation, right? Walking on water, but then let's say that's parabolic for you being in this truth, right? You in this truth, and it's smooth. But when the wind come, you understand, and things be a little bit uneasy. You get a little bit uncomfortable, man. Going through a little affliction. A lot of brothers, they begin to doubt and they begin to sink, man. Now the Lord has mercy on who he want to have mercy on. He saved Peter, right? You don't have to save everybody that doubt. The Lord will give you over to that demon, man. So that doubt can lead to your destruction. I don't know, man. Shit, I don't know if the Lord going to deal with me. Am I really going to survive the days to come? I'm just a little old nigga, man. I'm just from a tribe of Benjamin. That's the smallest tribe out of all the tribes of Israel. The Lord is not going to save me. No, he's not, brother, because you doubt him, brother. That's Sirach, the 2nd chapter. Woe unto him that believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended, man. So you have to have this faith, and you have to pray that the Lord remove any doubt in your mind in the last days. That's a cancerous spirit that can spread like wildfire. That doubt that Samir can hop on Amos. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. Maybe we really not going to make it. Then I hop on him. Yeah. We are. We are just in Babylon, right? You gotta let that spirit go. That's why in the law, when you read Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, we're commanded to tell men that fear, that are afraid, they gotta leave. You gotta go back home. Let me get that real quick, King. Come on. That's part of the law. If we're going to camp and we ask a brother, if a brother's afraid, guess what, brother? You can stay here with the women, man. We'll get you a crochet thing. We'll get you a sewing needle. We'll get you some biscuit mix, some Bisquick, and a crock pot, and you can do your thing here, man. You can work the hell out of that crock pot, but we're gonna do the work of the Lord.
Right.
You got it?
You want me to start at 1?
Yeah.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20 and verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thy enemy and seest horses and chariots and the people more than thou, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
You got to remember that the Lord is always with you, man. Then Elisha tell his servant, there'll be more that's with us and that's with them. You got to remember, it's an army of angels around you 24/7, man. So you got to walk in the spirit. Yeah, the Most High, I got the angels around me, right? Lord willing, the Most High is with me. Go on.
And it shall be when you are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, you approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you.
So how could you doubt, man? The Lord is fighting the battle. Is the Lord going to lose the battle? Is the Lord going to fall short? Is there any too many heathen for the Lord? So the Lord going to do his thing, man. So what you feel? Look at all of the Philistines. Look at all of the Edomites. Look at the armies of the Edomites coming against you. The Lord is with you, man. Right? He created them. So let's go on.
Verse 5, and the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that hath built a new house and have not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in battle, and another man dedicate it.
Right.
And what man is he that hath planted a vineyard and hath not yet eaten of it? Let him go also and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife, and have taken not unto her, have not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return into his house, lest his brother's hearts faint as well as his heart.
You see that? Imagine that. You ask brothers, y'all ready for war? One brother say, I don't know, man. Hey, brother, go home, brother. We don't need you, man. Because you got that fear is going to spread, man, like a disease. And you're going to get scared, and you shaking with your sword and your shield. Then the next brother, he starts shaking. Then the whole army starts shaking and flee, man. Right? So before we go to camp, hey, bro, we're going to ask brothers, man. Right? Now, if a brother say, look, I'm scared, there's going to be Edomites out there. The police car keep driving up down the harbor. I'm scared. Right? To go to jail. Stay here, brother.
Go to church.
Yeah, go to church. Yeah, go to church, man. And put on them white gloves and be the usher. Be like this. Shh. You can do that all day. In the damn church, man. Mad, oh, brother.
What you call it? Even in the Navy SEALs, when they have special task force units, they'll sit there and be like, listen, if you don't sit there and come, or whatever the case may be, you're going to get left behind. And that's just that. Because then you end up being a burden.
Yeah, you come a burden, man. Brother, we don't have time to sit there and comfort your heart, man. Just stay and watch this stuff, man. Watch the Persians. Right? And sew this brother a garment. So you can sew up the garments for the real men. You sit there and we'll give you the sewing machine, you sitting there with the damn. Do that work, brother. You can make garments for the men that go to war.
This is Judges chapter 7 and verse 1. That Jeroboam, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them by the hill of Morah in the valley. Right? They was getting ready to go to war. They pitched up, they was ready for battle. And the Lord said to Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. At least Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, my own hands have saved me. Right? So the Lord already knows how Israel get down.
Yeah.
You destroy your enemy. Yeah, you saw how I killed that man.
Right,
Threw the sword at boomerang back, cut off 5 heads. You know how Israel get, man. Right? Now, therefore, go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000. Right?
Damn.
So Gideon said, if you scared, go home. And 20, what did he say? 22,000 people departed from him. The Lord put that spirit on them. Right? Because he knew the men who was going to give the battle to the Lord.
Right.
Who was going to proclaim the victory in the name of the Lord, and the men who were going to proclaim the victory in their own hands. Right? So when you go to war, when you recruiting souls back into the Lord, it's not you. That victory goes to the Lord. Right? You're just a vessel that the Lord used.
Yeah, that's heavy, man. Imagine he didn't ask those men if he was afraid. They would have faked it, man. And they would have went there and all hell would have broke loose, man. So you had something?
Salaki, it was a time at camp. It was about 3 years ago. It was about 3 years ago.
Right.
We got into it at camp, and somebody said they was going to come back with their brothers. We had at least 6 people leave, saying, y'all wasn't trying to build. Y'all not trying to build people. I got to go. Brothers was terrified, man. Brothers was scared. At least 6 people left, and I think it was like 4 of us left after that.
Yeah.
Man, brothers will show their spirit when tension arises.
Right.
You want that man to stand bold with you when adversity comes, man. Adversity builds brothers.
That's right.
Right? You shouldn't be running when war arises. You should be there for your brother. You laying your life down for Israel, man. So the fearful can go home. And if any brother is fearful within the camp, they should speak up. They shouldn't even be there, man. Because the Lord not dealing with fear. Because perfect love don't deal with fear. Right? What's that in 2 John? 1 John. Right? Perfect love is not of the fear is not a perfect love of the Lord. Right? So you got to examine yourself when you go out there. Right? This is a wartime, man. We at war. We winning souls for the Lord. We battling the principalities of wickedness, man.
Yeah, and needless to say, those brothers are not in the camp anymore. Right?
2 of the brothers not in the truth anymore.
Yeah, 2 of the brothers fell out. Right? 3 of the brothers fell out. One brother, he's like he's into astrology. Yeah, you know that brother. One brother, he don't believe in Yahushua, and another brother, he work out all day, smoking. Oh, that brother believe. It was another brother. He kind of he almost into Christianity now. Right? Yeah, so that happens, man. Like I said, at any given second at camp, all hell could break loose. And we've seen brothers get up and leave. Let's go to Sirach chapter 6. People threaten us, I'm gonna be back. The damn coon told us that last Saturday, man. That's what we said. We're gonna be out here, man. We had people, remember the dude that came back, I'm gonna be back, he came back with the ski mask. And he tried to call, and then he came with his hand in. I don't know if brothers was out there that day. Yeah. So we're dealing with all types of stuff at camp, huh? Esau pull out a gun, y'all boys better behave, man.
So like that same man that came back saying he was gonna come back, he kept saying, he said, I don't got the stick, I got the 30.
You see that? And he ain't come back with nothing, man. He came back with his head down.
Came back and he listened to the word.
Right.
And the first thing he said too, right when he was coming back, there's too many people around. That's the first thing that came out of his mouth.
We've been out there, man. He know what's going on. You got something?
That's right.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
This Sirach chapter 6 and verse 8. For some man is a friend for his Sirach 6 and 8 out of the Apocrypha. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble, man. We could be catching trouble. Certain brothers, they only want to join the camp. I see y'all brothers got a lot of views. I see y'all brothers Amos, man. That's Amos right there. I want to kind of link up with the brothers, right? Then when the day of trouble come, hey, brother, I gotta go, brother. You know, I don't want to get my ticket. You know where I parked. I'll be back though, right? Brother, stuff like that happens, man. And all the camps, man. Brothers, they don't want to abide in the day of trouble. And we're going to die for this thing, Most High willing. If the Lord give us that spirit, that is what it is, man. Verse 9. And there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is in verse 9, when it says, if there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. That's that brother, you kind of get into it with him. Now you're putting all your secrets out on the table. He really wants your friend, man.
Right.
He just throw it all on the table, all your secrets. Now he's making videos on you, right? All types of wickedness. Here's the point, verse 10. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. You see that? So, brothers, you got to continue with your brothers in the day of affliction, man. Right? We are army, we soldiers. And they got that precept in 1 John 4. Go ahead. You got that.
You got it.
All right, this 1 John chapter 4 and verse 18. 1 John chapter 4 and 18, because the brother spoke about perfect love. 1 John chapter 4 and verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. See that? If you really believe in this thing, why would you fear anything, man? You keeping the laws and commandments, that's perfect love. Loving your brother as you love yourself, that's perfect love. Serving the Most High with all your heart, mind, body, and soul, that's perfect love. I don't have no fear, no damn devils, man. Don't fear no Edomites. Wild lions and tigers can pop in the damn room, and we don't fear that, man. We gonna slay them lions, man. All right?
Brothers got to remember Psalms 34 and 7, man. That's key. Right? Let's get it. Let's not be about it. Psalms chapter 34 and verse 7. And it reads,
Psalms chapter 34 and 7. The angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
right? So if you truly fear the Lord, the angels are always going to be around you, protecting you from the evils that are about, right? You know how many situations that happened at camp, right? We was in Cleveland, they was shooting out there, right? Didn't nobody get hit? Didn't nobody move? Didn't nobody run? We stood there, right? We done had people pull out guns, people want to fight, right? But the Lord done cast down plenty of battles that we would have thought we had to go through, right? It was the time we was in the what was that? Greenmount. We was on Greenmount.
Greenmount 33rd.
And everybody was out there ready to fight us. Right? People reaching in their pockets like they ready to stab. Man, the Lord had all that shut down, man.
Is it a good precept, Matthew 10 to 28?
Come, that's a good
Go ahead and bring it up.
That's right, man. All hell be breaking loose, man. And camp is not a joke. It's not fun time. Got a lot of brothers, it's fun time at camp. We're literally at war, man. At any given second, all hell could break loose. So this is sin. This is life or death, man. We're literally saving souls.
Presenting your body as a living sacrifice.
That's right, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, man. I'll read that, King, in Matthew 10 to 28 for you. Right? This is book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 28. That's a good precept. All right, let's get that. It reads, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And the Lord can destroy you through the fire of destruction, man. It's not speaking about the fire under the earth, right? That's not what it's talking about.
This is Song of the Three Holy Children in the Apocrypha. I'm gonna start at verse 59. We're gonna read to verse 65. Where he says, O children of men, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above all forever. O Israel, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above forever. Before we go any further, these are the three men who were thrown in the fiery furnace, and they're praising the Lord. Right? Songs of the Three Holy Children in the Apocrypha. Verse we're on 60 now. 61. O ye priests of the Lord, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above forever. O servants of the Lord, blessed be ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above forever. O ye spirits and souls of the righteous, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above forever. O ye holy and humble men of the Lord, bless ye the Lord and praise and exalt him forever. O Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above all forever, for he hath delivered us from hell and saved us from the hand of death, and delivered us out of the midst of the furnace and burning flame, even out of the midst of the fire that had devoured. So like the fire he had delivered us. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, because he is gracious, for his mercies endure forever. Right? So no matter how crazy the situation may be, nothing is too hard for the Lord. And his mercies endure forever. Right? So how do you get those sure mercies of the Lord? By keeping faith, by doing these works, keeping the faith in the Lord. Right? Build up your spiritual bank. Right? Add money to that spiritual bank daily, hourly, minutely.
Spiritual credit too.
Spiritual credit, man. Have less debt, right? Build up more equity, right? In your temple, because you are the temple of the Lord, right? So build up that spiritual bank, man. For when the hour of temptation comes, you're able to withstand the wiles of the devil, right? The devil will flee when you resist him, right? And we catching hell every day, right? You stay in the spirit, the devil's gonna flee. I guarantee you, because the scriptures say that.
That's right. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 12. Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, and verse 12. They tell you what fear is. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth, and the expectation from within being less counted the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment. So when it says, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth, what does sound reasoning offer you in times of affliction? What does sound reason give you and tell you? Does any brother know? What does sound reasoning tell you in a time of adversity? No. Right, you want to be all right. Why are you going to be all right, brother? Because the Most High is with you. But what is fear? Fear is to be trained in that mentality. Yeah, fear is telling you, damn, I really might not make it. Damn, this guillotine is looking very sharp. Damn, Jacob's trouble, I don't know. Fear is your mind playing tricks on you, trying to stop you from believing that the Most High is with you. That's all it is, right? Let me read that one more time. For fear is nothing else but the betraying of the succor. Succor is hope. The betraying of the assistance or help which reason offers. So reasoning should tell you, according to discernment, that you have a plethora of angels around you, but that demon is going to tell you, no, those demons aren't around you. They're going to try to make you forget that the angels are around you, make you forget that the Most High is with you, make you forget that the chariots are above your head. That's what fear is going to tell you. And that's a demon whispering that in your ear. You got to cast that fear off, man, or it'll swallow you up and persuade you to your destruction.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. This is the classic. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Right? Doubt is a spiritual wickedness, man. Because when you doubt, you casting out faith. And right, we just read in Luke that when the Lord comes, is he going to find faith on the earth? Like when all hell seems like it's about to break out, you don't have any hope. That faith the size of a mustard seed is going to withstand you, man. That's going to get you through them troubling times, right? Everybody has stories about when you have faith and everything worked out on your behalf. Okay. If you're a procrastinator, that happens to you all the time, right? So, patience, let's go back to it, James chapter 1, and we go verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, right? So you got to get tried to understand how to deal in patience, understand how to deal with faith, right? The things you go through is building you up to this final test that we're about to go through, which is Jacob's trouble, that hour of temptation when Esau is going to be slaying like a madman, sparing none. Are you going to have faith? You're going to fold? You're going to go to a FEMA camp? You're going to call upon the Lord? Right? You're going to help your brother out? You're going to lay your life down for your brother? All these things are written for our learning to know how to act in the time of trouble.
That's right. Let's go to Sirach chapter 2 and verse 11. Right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and 11. For the Lord is full of compassion, mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts, and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Lord not going to defend you in that day. You might have kept all the commandments. You might have did all of the work on the highways and byways, but when it hit the fan, you became faint-hearted. What do I do? What do I do? Do I call upon the Lord? Do I call the police? Yeah, brothers thinking like that, man. Right? Do I call the SWAT team? What can I do? Let me go to my neighbor. Right? The most I go, look, this guy really don't believe, man. He believed, you know what I'm saying, for a little while, but he didn't believe during the hour of temptation. Right?
God, this is 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 2. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Right? So any lack of faith, you're gonna die. That's just that simple. The Lord said it. You're gonna die in your unfaithfulness because you doubt the Lord. Right? If you don't have faith, you doubt the Lord. That's just how simple it is. Right? Because any and everything that you can think of, the Lord has it set up and written for your learning. Right? Because these words are faithful and true. So you can't fear the imaginations and the evil thoughts of what Esau wants to do to you. Right? You got faith that the Lord is going to deliver you. Deliver you, your household, your loved ones. You have that faith. Right? Okay, Tom. I had something another time.
That's right, man. So brothers got to pray for this faith, man. Let the Lord increase your faith sevenfold, tenfold, man. For this world and for the days that are to come, man, in this world.
This is Psalms chapter 37. I want to start at verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Right? So David's saying, man, the steps of a good man are ordered, and the Lord never cast him away. Right? He's never seen the righteous man forsaken by the Lord. Nor are we ever going to see the righteous man forsaken by the Lord. Put the trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? So learn to put your trust in the Lord. Right? Learn to cast off those demons of worry and doubt. Right? Do that daily. Right? You got to combat your own mind, because that's a demon telling you that. Right? That's a demon in your mind. That's a condition of the battle. You got to battle within yourself to make it to this kingdom.
That's right. That's right. So we can go back to James. Right? So it's important to have faith, man. And showing your faith by your works. Right? Let me get one precept on that real quick. Revelation 14 to 13. Right? Showing your faith by your works. Let's go to the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter and verse 13. Right? Right? And it reads, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. So your works are going to follow you, man. Right? Immediately after your spirit is taken up to the spirit world, on the day of your death, the angel is going to follow right behind your spirit with a detailed report of all of your works. All right, what have you done that was righteous? What have you done what was wicked, man? And you're going to get judged according to your works. So you're really judged according to your amount of faith, because your works is a living testament of how much faith you have.
Come back in James chapter 2 and verse 22. Seest thou how faith brought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed Yahweh, and was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of Yahweh. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. Likewise also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works, when she had received the messengers and had sent them out another way. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also.
See that? And even Rahab was justified. You can read that in the book of Joshua, the 2nd chapter. They told her, look, we're going to come back and, we're going to deliver you. Right? And she had faith, man. She did work. She let the scarlet thing outside of the window because she believed that, man. She hid the 2 spies. Right? That's right. So you got to have faith. And if a brother believes, we got to see your works, brother. I don't want to just say, bro, I'm an Israelite. Yeah, brothers that just say that. I'm Israel. The brother ran by yesterday talking about Khan. He had no fringes on, man. Yeah, his woman had on pants running in the middle of the night talking about Khan on the Sabbath. With no beard on, man.
Going to bubblegum shrimp.
Yeah, going to run in the bubblegum shrimp, man. Right? So guess what? He don't really believe in this thing. Right?
God. So somebody said your works are doing the commandments, right? Yeah, that's part of it. Having brotherly love, charity, compassion, mercy, right? It's a lot that go into works, right? It's not just one thing. It's a huge plethora of works that you can do. That's why you get into the scriptures and find out how faith was shown by our forefathers and foremothers.
Deuteronomy 6:25. It says,
You gotta speak up.
It said Deuteronomy 6:25, and it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do these commandments before the Lord our God, as he has commanded us. On that our righteousness is shown by us keeping the law.
God,
That's right.
God.
Con. We can go on. We get a few more.
God.
And James, we're in the book of James, chapter 3. So how do you show your faith, brothers? By your works. Can you just say that you Israel? You from the tribe of Judah? You got a shirt on and it say all praises on it. You got a pack of damn backwoods in your pocket, huh? Come on, brother.
James chapter 3 and verse 1. My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation.
Yeah, that word masters means teachers. All right. So when it says be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation, that means what? Don't hasten to be a teacher. Don't rush into this thing, man. Because there's a great condemnation coming on those men that are teachers, man. Right? So men that break the scriptures down, they may get a more severe punishment than a brother that don't break the scriptures down because they're held to a higher standard. Right? If you break something down wrong, you got to deal with it. Most are going to deal with you, man. Right? So don't be quick, to go and teach and prophesy. Be patient, man. Study. Make sure you get built up. Make sure you're taught. Make sure you know what you're talking about before you call yourself teaching somebody. You got people that teach their family the truth. You only been in the truth one day, man. Now you offended them. Right? Now you don't know what you're talking about. Now they ask you questions and you get confounded, man. Now you make the Most High ministry look bad. The thing that was set up a light, now you done turned it to darkness. So you got to be careful in this thing, right? Be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation.
For in many things we offend all.
Oh, Slaki, I had a quick precept on that.
Good.
Let me get this in 1 Timothy chapter 3. 3 and 5.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5. It says, for if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yahweh?
Right, go on.
Not a novice.
Not a what?
Not a novice.
Right.
Least being filled up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil.
What is a novice? A beginner. You new in this thing. So you don't want to be out there teaching and you a novice, man. Right? They have video games. You can set it on beginning. Or it's like an easy, medium, hard. You don't play on very hard if this is your first time doing the thing, man. You got to start off on easy, man, and work your way into this thing. Then you can change the difficulty level, man. And things that were once medium now they're easy. Things that were once hard, they're easier to you now. So when you in this thing, you want to make sure that you get built up in the faith, man, and don't rush to teach, or the Most High may jam you up if you're breaking things down wrong, man. Right? So not a novice, less being lifted up with pride, because brothers they being in the truth for them a year, and then now they're the master teachers of Israel. 6 months, right? You've been in things 6 months, brother. Come on, brother. You gotta be through experience and through discernment, grow to a certain level in this thing, man. Be 2 years, 3 years, 4 or 5 years, 6 years. Right? So you want to be able to grow and let yourself get built up and make sure you know what you're talking about.
James chapter 3 and verse 2. For in many things we offend all. If any man offended not in word, the same as a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body.
Yeah, so Slucky, you want to make sure that you controlling your words as a teacher too. James about to tell you how the effect of words, how heavy words are, and the tongue is.
Behold, we put bites in the horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn about the whole body.
Yeah, you brother see that. You put the little bridle on the horse mouth, and you tell it where to go, do the little things on the side. You know what I'm talking about. Right, and that controls the whole body. Now, you don't have to put it on the harness. Just use his little mouth, and it controls the whole body of the horse.
Behold, also the ships, which through they be so great, and are driven a force of winds, yet are they turned about with very small helm, whether the governor listeth.
Yeah, you got these big ships, and what drives them? That little wheel. The little thing they spin. The ship is ginormous, man. But it's controlled by that one small thing. Controls the influence of that entire ship. Rather it's shipwreck or rather it reaches its destination safe. It's all been controlled by that one will. Right? So James is making a point.
Even so the tongue is a little member and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
And your tongue is small. That's probably one of the smallest parts of your body, man. People get murdered. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's written, man. You know, nations go to war. People get murdered, kidnapped, all through the tongue, man. Right? You got people proclaimed to be Yahushua all through the tongue. The tongue can cause all manner of destruction, man. Right? Yes, I know. But we're going to continue on that. Most I willing with the next week. With that, Kwam Yashala. We're going to take a quick intermission, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh Shalom.
Shalom.
Because we can go on that for a long